Hey there, Jason Satterlund here. So this particular vlog is a little bit long because we're going to be talking about how to lay sound effects together on a track. It's a tutorial, so it can stretch to be a little bit long. And I think this one's going to run around 10 to 15 minutes. If this is not for you, stay tuned for more vlogs coming up because I'm going to be interviewing the awesome Kristen Nedopak, the founder of the Geeky Awards. I'm also going to be talking to Nathan Whitehead, who did sound design on some of the Matrix films and did the score for The Purge and the upcoming sequel to The Purge, Purge Anarchy. It's going to be very, very cool. We're also going to release Countermeasure. It's a short film we made a few years back, which did some really cool things on it. It's going to be going live here in a couple of weeks, so check it out. Now, stay tuned for this upcoming vlog about sound design. It's going to be really cool. Those of you guys in film, you're going to love it. Now, we're down to the stage where we're actually going to start building our soundscape. So here is a little look what we built. Now this is featuring the lovely and wonderful Ayanna Berkshire, wonderfully talented actress, and the great and talented Eric Newsom. You can see his stuff at The Man Voice. You can follow Ayanna at Ayanna Berkshire on Twitter. So here's our little sequence. Okay, so there it is. Now, how exactly do we build that? So, I downloaded a bunch of sounds. And what I like to do first is just kind of build a good base. So I know here that I've got lots of rain, and I've got several different kinds of rain. Here's rain loud. I like the rain loud. It's a little tinny, and I've got this one. I like that one too. Let me start with my rain loud and I'll drop this on the timeline here. Okay, so that's a start, and I'll just duplicate this and bring this over. I hear that little bump in there. You don't want that, so what I'll do is just kind of bring it across and do a little cross dissolve and make sure it sounds. Now, I find that kind of high-end and a little bit hard to listen to, so what I want to do is back that off so it's not attacking my ears so strongly, and then bring some other rain in so I can... This will give me a little bit more body. Now, I'm liking that a lot better. I still think this is a little loud. Alright, so we'll stretch this across so we've got that going all the way through. Now what we're going to want to do here, rain and wind and everything always changes throughout a storm. You want to like create some swells, so she's turning around. And we know that there's going to be this lightning strike right here. And I'm going to want to make room for some sort of sound effect. So I might end up taking my rain and just slightly backing it off through here. Especially the high-end rain. That's going to leave some room for some of the other drama. Now, the next thing we're going to want to do is add some wind. All right, so we've got several kinds of wind here. That's some pretty big, beefy wind. I've got this. And I've also got some. Some of this. And the reason why I try to get several different kinds of wind and sound effects is because I just don't know what's going to sound right until I lay it on the timeline, until I get everything mixed together. You know, I kind of like the sound of this one. It's pretty menacing, so I'll drop that on here and just see what it looks like.
I don't really like the way that's mixing. I think I want something a little bassier. Which of course, that one's really nice. The only problem with this one is it's kind of the same sound all the way through. There's not much change. That one's a little bit better, but I'm going to guess that the combination of these two are going to be pretty good. And then I can also manually take this and create my own swells. So if I do this and I say start like this, and then I can pull it down. Gives us some little moments, some little breaths that I might even be able to come in with give us a little something else. All right, so what's cool about this, we're starting to get somewhere now, just a little ways. Now, one of the best ways to accentuate a dramatic moment. She's turning around, and we got a really great performance here from Yanni, and we want to really emphasize the fact that something big is going on. This is a great way to add tension. You show the reaction of her before you actually show what she's looking at, right? Well, we want to build this moment a little bit. So this is where your whooshes come in. So I've got a couple of whooshes. Got this one. That's a pretty cool one. I've also got this one. And I've got this one. It's kind of a tough call. Which one's the best? It's a personal preference thing at this point. Now, what I like about this one is it's got a bit of depth to it. Let me drop this on here. See what we got. Now watch how it accents her mood. And see, you can start feeling it a little bit more, that turnaround. And then see, that's kind of a higher end one, so what I can do is come in here with a subwoofer rumble. I want you to be nice and loud. See, what you do is you play them in tandem. So we have a higher end one come in just like a piece of music, and then we come in with our subwoofer rumble when she really when she takes in what she's actually seeing. Yeah, you can really feel the tension building. Now it's getting really close, so I think there's still another layer that we can add in. Now remember, she's in the middle of a storm. So what if we start the scene with a lighter thunderclaps? Maybe something like, well, let's just see what we got here. Well, that's pretty decent. Let's see. Let's see how that sounds slipped in here. We'll take this thunder. Start the scene with it. Yeah, okay, so now you have like some different textured elements. That's what I like about that thunderclap, is it's got some rumble and roll to it, so it kind of builds as it goes. Now, what we're missing here is her voice. Okay, so when we recorded this, when we shot this, in this particular shot, there is literally a leaf blower right in front of her face, 2 inches from her mouth, and she's trying to act and say lines, right? Well, there's no way we're going to record any kind of usable audio on the day. We knew this. We knew that we were going to be in an ADR situation, but there was no budget to bring her up to do any kind of dialogue looping. So what we did was we made sure that her talking was very simple. So all she does here, she's just looking, and she just yells his name. So then after the shoot, during that night, after we had to wrap for the night, we went out into just a field with a microphone, and we recorded her doing different things.
Gavin!
A couple of Gavins.
Gavin! Gavin! Gavin!
Some really great performance stuff, right? And so then I had her do some random movements, some yells like she's getting hit.
Oh! Gavin!
So that way it sounds like, so when we add it in with action, make sure you grab those pieces, because when she falls over and she lands, we can use those little chunks. So here we are. We'll grab this first Gavin. Boom. Drop it in. And I'm going to use the first one when we don't actually see her lips moving. So that'll allow me to sync it easier.
Gavin!
Ooh, yeah, we'll have it hit right before the lightning strike.
Gavin!
Now we want the big yell, Gavin! Boom, we'll add this one on. And it's a pretty easy one to sync up. It's only 2 syllables, so it's probably going to be about right. Let's see where we are here.
Gavin!
Ooh, pretty close.
Gavin!
A little earlier.
Gavin!
So it's pretty close. You know, we might be able to massage that.
Gavin!
I'm going to move it later.
Gavin!
Yeah! So that looks pretty good, right? We didn't even have to spend and fly her up and do dialogue looping. Now we've got the audio sounding just right. And then there's a final shot here where she gets hit by lightning.
Gavin!
So we can grab that shot. Drop that in.
Gavin!
And then maybe one of her...
Oh!
See how that works? You just grab, I mean, if you feel kind of silly when you're doing it, you're out in the field and you're just running around and screaming and whatever, but it really works, and it starts to really add in your moments when you're creating these videos. So here we are back at the beginning.
Gavin!
Now the lightning strike happens. Now here's, if we really want to make a nice punchy lightning strike, what we want to do is build to it. We want to start to drop out our sound on some of these other channels. We've already got our rain kind of backing off a bit. We might even be able to do that a little bit more. And then a really great way to do that is possibly a reverse whoosh. Let me see what I've got here. That's a pretty good one. Let me drop that in down here. Early, probably. Let's see.
Gavin!
You want a beat. You want to build up, give it a breath. You want to build up to a loud point, drop all the sound out, and then boom, hit him in the gut.
Gavin!
It's a little bit late.
Gavin!
Boom. See that?
Gavin!
Right there is our lightning strikes. So let me go in and drop our wind down. And then let's try well, what is this one? Nah, let's try number 14. Line it up with our strike. Boom, there it is.
Gavin!
A little late.
Gavin!
I'm not sure that, I think we can go bigger on that one. Thunderstrike. Let's try our hyped. The one that we love.
Gavin!
Ooh, yeah, that's a good one.
Gavin!
I think I could probably even back this off a little bit more.
Gavin! Gavin!
And I think my rain is actually taking away from my thunder strike. So we can go back here, drop the rain down a little bit more. Especially this loud rain. I think we can come way down with it.
Gavin! Gavin!
So you can already feel that that's starting to make that thunder strike really punch. But we can also add to it. Remember, if you're working with these sound effects, try not to just let one sound effect be enough. Use a couple of different things. So what I've also grabbed were some different pieces of electricity. That's a pretty good one. So if we add that on,
Gavin!
it's a little bit early, but you see the effect. It feels a little bit more dangerous when you actually hear electricity arcing.
Gavin!
Now, I think what we really want to do to accent this moment is some other kind of dramatic whoosh. I think maybe something along these lines, especially when the dad hears it.
Gavin!
And then, of course, once your thunder strike hits, you want to bring all your sounds back in. So we'll maybe a good wind gust right in here would actually be a perfect time for that. That's why we grabbed some of these other weather sounds. So maybe oh, that's a good one. We can drop that little wind harsh right in here and see what happens when we do that. I'm going to pull you down, leave you some room, and then I'll grab this guy.
Gavin!
And it's nice because it's a completely different register.
Gavin!
Oh, a little bit later.
Gavin! Gavin! Gavin!
Now, of course, we're a little bit peaking on some of this, but overall, this is pretty rough, but you can kind of get the basic idea. You just have to think smart, and you want to be able to even close your eyes and just listen to the whole piece to see if it makes sense to your ears. So that's pretty much it, and I don't want to bore you with trying to sound design the entire piece because there's really no need, but you get the basic idea. Play it like a piece of music and have some fun with it. And I trust you, your clients and everybody your audience will really like it. They'll probably start saying, wow, your piece sounds so much better than all the other pieces that come in, because you approached it like it was a score. Well, that's it for today. I'm Jason Satterlund. Thanks for watching. Make sure that you subscribe down here at the bottom. Take a look at more vlogs off to the right. If you haven't seen the other parts 1, 2, and 3 of the storm, take a look at those. There's a lot of really good information there. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Facebook. Appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.